Hi students, Mrs. Drew here. Today we are going to talk about the perfect active participle. First, let's look at how we make the perfect active participle. You learned from your earlier participle studies that participles come from verbs and behave as adjectives. A regular verb has 4 principal parts. We use the second principal part to create the present active participle, and the fourth principal part to create the perfect passive participle and the future active participle. This is what we have done so far. Now let's look at the perfect active participle formation. Perfect active participles also come from verbs, except they come from a verb that only has 3 principal parts. These verbs are called deponent verbs. In order to make a perfect active participle, you need to have a deponent verb. Deponent verbs only have passive forms and they have active meaning. To make the perfect active participle out of a deponent verb, you have to go to the third principal part and simply take the first word of it. That is going to become your masculine form of the perfect active participle. Now you just need to add the feminine and the neuter forms to it. And with that you have made a perfect active participle, or in short, a PAP. Notice the similarity of the PPP and the perfect active participle. Here is your PPP and here is your perfect active participle. We need to be very careful with these two participles because they are easily confused. If you would like to learn strategies to tell them apart, go to the Review of All Participles lecture. Let's look at the declension of the PAP. We have learned that all participles act like adjectives and agree with nouns in number, gender, and case. To do that, they have to decline. Can you tell which declension does the PAP use? You were right if you said it's the first and second declension. You can tell if you look at the endings us, a, First declension, second declension. Next, we would like to look at how the PAP behaves in a sentence. Look at the first sentence. The perfect active participle is locutus here. How can I tell? I know that locutus is coming from a verb that has only 3 principal parts, loquor, loqui, locutus, sum. If a participle uses the third principal part of a verb that only has 3 principal parts, I am sure I have found a PAP. All participles behave as adjectives. Let's check out if that's true for the PAPs too. Look at locutus. It is describing Salvius in number, gender, and case. Both are singular, nominative, and masculine. Next, notice that haec verba is the direct object of locutus. Having said what? Having spoken these words. Having a direct object is a verb feature of the participle. Now you try. Go to the second sentence. First, try to find the PAP. You were right if you said it was the word conspicata. How did you know that? You learned the word conspicor, conspicare, conspicatus, sum, catch sight of. This is a word with 3 principal parts, only passive forms. Clearly, this is a deponent verb. Conspicatus is a PAP because it is found in the third principal part of a deponent verb. Next, can you see what noun does the conspicatus describe? You were right to say it was puella. Both the participle and the noun puella agree in number, gender, and case, and that is singular, nominative, and feminine. Next, can you tell if the PAP conspicata has a direct object? You were right to say it was vulpem. This is the verb feature of the participle. Finally, look at how we decline the perfect active participle together with a noun. Remember we said that the perfect active participle goes by the first and second declension adjectives. And because it is describing verbum, which is a second declension neuter, it's going to take the second declension neuter endings to agree with verbum in number, gender, and case, and that results in very, very similar endings, which make it easy to decline them together and notice that they belong together. And this is all you need to know about the perfect active participles.